Sarah thought she needed $1.2 million to retire on dividends, and after nearly 30 years of disciplined investing, she had $720,000, which was really good, but the calculator kept telling her the same thing, that she was nearly $500,000 short. She wasn't, not really. Because the number she needed wasn't fixed, it depended on where she planned to live. And when she ran the numbers for Phuket, Thailand, suddenly, everything changed, and what she discovered might change your retirement number too. Hey, I'm Larry, a semi-retired electrician who's figured out simple money systems that actually work. And stick around until the end. I've got a free gift that'll help you run these numbers for your own life. Today we're following Sarah's story because what she discovered didn't just change her retirement plan, it changed the entire question she was asking. And by the end of this video, you'll know how much you need invested to live off dividends, and why that number might be a lot closer than you think. Sarah started investing in her 20s. She stayed consistent, she ignored the noise, and at 52, she had built something most people never do, a $720,000 portfolio generating real dividend income every single month. But every time she searched, how much do I need to live off dividends? She got the same answer, $1 million, $1.2 million. Some calculations went as high as 1.5. So one night she sat down at her kitchen table with her calculator and did the math again. And to truly live off dividends in America, covering housing, groceries, healthcare, transport, and still having a life, she discovered she needed somewhere between $45,000 and $50,000 a year. And at 4%, that meant her portfolio should be closer to $1.2 million. So Sarah was $480,000 short. And the part that really stung was that she'd been doing everything right for nearly 30 years. But what if Sarah was solving the wrong problem? Most dividend investors spend years obsessing over the portfolio number. How do I get to $1 million? How do I get to $1.2 million? And that's understandable, because the number feels like the finish line, but the number isn't fixed. It really depends entirely on one thing: how much you actually need to spend every month. And if you change your cost of living, you change the finish line. In one country, you might need $50,000 a year for living expenses, and in another country, you might need only $30,000 a year. Same portfolio, but two completely different targets. Sarah had been doing the math against American costs her entire life. But what if the problem wasn't her portfolio? What if it was her location? That's the night she started considering retiring in Phuket, Thailand. It wasn't a random Google search. Sarah had been to Thailand 3 times already. The first trip happened after a friend spent 2 weeks in Thailand and came back talking about nothing else. The food, the warmth of the people, and the way the whole place just slowed you down. After seeing what the fuss was about, she loved it and never quite got over it. She'd gone back twice since. And every time she left, there was a quiet pull. Not just, I'd love to holiday here more often. Something deeper. The feeling that this place made sense for her life in a way that was hard to explain back home. So when she started running the numbers on living abroad, Phuket wasn't a compromise. It was the answer to a question she'd been carrying for years. But before you picture yourself in a hammock with a coconut, let's talk real numbers. Because this isn't a fantasy, this is math. Sarah's portfolio was $720,000, and at a 4% dividend yield, that generates $28,800 a year, which breaks down to $2,400 a month. So she asked herself, could she actually live on $2,400 a month? She started running the numbers for Phuket. A good lifestyle in Phuket for many expats includes a comfortable apartment, healthcare, transportation, dining out, and some travel. And that can often be achieved for around $2,400 a month. Sarah stared at the calculator. She checked the numbers again. The portfolio hadn't changed. The city had. She was already there. The same portfolio that left her $480,000 short in America already covered her entire Phuket lifestyle. Not in 5 years, not after one more promotion, right now. So what does Sarah's portfolio actually look like? Because 4% sounds great on paper, but is it realistic? Yes, it is realistic, and here's why. Sarah isn't chasing risky 8% or 10% yields. She's simply owning large, established companies across several industries, businesses that have paid and raised their dividends every single year for decades. These companies sell things people buy, regardless of what the economy is doing. And when you take into account her type of investments, landing at 4% is not only realistic, it's conservative. And this isn't about timing the market. It's about owning pieces of businesses that share their profits with you, consistently, year after year. But let's be honest, Sarah asked the right questions, and so should you. Moving abroad isn't a magic trick. There are real things to think through. Currency risk is one of them. Sarah's dividends are paid in US dollars, and her expenses in Phuket are in Thai baht. So when the dollar is strong, her money goes further. And when it weakens, her purchasing power dips. It's manageable, but it's real, and having a small buffer makes it a non-issue. Visas are another. Thailand has clear pathways for long-term stays, retirement visas, and others. This isn't a barrier, but it's paperwork that needs to be on her radar. And healthcare is actually a positive surprise for most expats living in Thailand. Private health insurance costs a fraction of what Sarah is paying in the US, and the quality of care in Phuket is genuinely good. And what about dividend reliability? No dividend is guaranteed. Companies can cut payouts during hard times. But Sarah's portfolio holds positions across multiple sectors. And if one company cuts its dividend, the impact on her total monthly income is manageable. And that's the difference between a concentrated bet and a properly built income portfolio. One is fragile, the other is designed to withstand turbulence. None of this is a reason to stop, but it is a reason to plan. So, what did Sarah actually do? First, she stopped chasing the American number. That was never her number anyway. It was just the default assumption she'd been carrying for nearly 30 years without questioning it. Second, she got serious about the move. She researched the visa requirements, the healthcare options, the neighborhoods. She treated it like the financial decision it was. Third, she went. Not someday, but with a plan and a timeline. Her portfolio was already doing its job, and the only thing left was to pack up her things. 6 months after making the decision, Sarah was sitting under an umbrella at Kata Beach, sipping a coconut. She still checked her dividend deposits every month. But now they are paying for lunches overlooking the water, weekend trips to the islands, and a life she thought she had to wait another decade to afford. The portfolio didn't change. Her address did. And that's the full picture. How living off dividends abroad actually works, from the ground up. A $720,000 portfolio at 4% generates exactly $2,400 a month. And a comfortable lifestyle in Phuket for many expats costs around $2,400 a month. But some people do it for considerably less. The same portfolio that may leave you nearly $500,000 short in America can already cover your full lifestyle somewhere else. For Sarah, the answer was Phuket. For someone else, it might be Portugal, Vietnam, or Mexico. The destination changes, but the math stays the same. Sarah spent nearly 30 years trying to build $1 million retirement, and what she discovered was that she'd already built enough. The calculators weren't wrong, they were just solving for a different life. And sometimes the biggest financial decision you make isn't what you invest in, it's where you choose to live. If this video helped you see the numbers differently, hit like and subscribe. I break down real financial concepts like this every week. And drop a comment. If you could live off dividends anywhere in the world, where would it be? I actually read every one. And check the description. I've got a free dividend freedom planner waiting for you. It shows you exactly what these numbers look like at different income targets and yield assumptions. No strings attached. And if you want to go deeper on how the stock market actually works, watch this video next. And remember, if this electrician can do it, so can you.